Jiayao Mountain, the starting point of the Nanshan Meridian, stands tall when the driftwood began to drift along the mountainside. The true inhabitants of Jiayao Mountain have awakened. The stars are gripping the ancient hall with their powerful claws. They resemble apes, but it has veins as white as jade. Amber flames danced in their eye sockets. These intelligent and spiritual beasts, they will collectively howl before the rainy season arrives. Sound waves can shake gold and jade fragments off the rock face. What's most astonishing is their blood. Legend. The emperor once caused the bloodshed of the queen by the stars in this list. It can travel 800 li in a day. This Jiayao Mountain silent during the day, only when night falls. Only then would he reveal his true face. Whenever the root valley of illusion and reality resounds, millions of silvery white flower buds will tear through the night. Each petal is frozen moonlight. These flowers bloom only in the dark of night, when the amethyst reaches its brightest point, even jade buried deep underground. They would all glow with a bluish light under its illumination. And such a miracle. Every night I'm on the reincarnation stage of Jiayao Mountain. "300 li to the east, we arrived at Tangting Mountain, where the golden veins flow. There is no ghostly mist here like at Jiayao Mountain. Instead, it is a vein of gold flowing in every rock. When the sunlight shines directly on the mountain ridge, the entire mountain peak would shine like molten gold. Even the circling flies had to squint? The mountains are home to a large number of white-haired people. Their fur is as white as snow. Nitrogen whale ear. These apes were thicker in the front than in the back. It can die and fall to the ground to climb. You can also walk upright to collect wild fruits from the crevices of rocks. These white orchards have strict community structures. The cubs are raised together by the group until they are 5 years old. After that, the cubs, they will receive 2.5 years of survival skills training by senior members, teaching hunting skills and hierarchical etiquette. Trekking 380 li to the northeast, we arrived at Nanshan, the most dangerous forbidden zone in history, Yuan Yashan. This cone-shaped mountain peak is composed of basalt. The surface is covered with honeycomb-like holes. The middle-aged man exuded a chilling, toxic aura. The so-called monster here. In reality, they are mutated organisms spawned by extreme environments. Between the scales of this woodless lizard, parasitic on bioluminescent bacteria, they rely on sensing changes in sulfur concentration. Birds that come to prey on insults. The mountain stream appears clear. Master hesitated, the bone spur. Their spines penetrate the epidermis to form an exoskeleton. A gojeng that can launch highly poisonous objects when threatened. Words are deep. The real Grim Reaper is shrinking. The abundant insects in the original mountain are definitely not ordinary venomous snakes. The classic of mountains and seas refers to strange insects and flying snakes. Quartz. These creatures are somewhere between snakes and lizards. Their bodies were entirely grayish-white like bones. The scales are covered with honeycomb-like marks, able to move silently on the rock face. Crossing the death barrier of Yuanyi Mountain, Nanshan Sutra guides us 370 li eastward. Nayayangshan. This mysterious wind that divides day and night, revealing its magnificence amidst the sea of clouds. At this moment, a morning mist that has lingered over Naoyang Mountain for thousands of years is parted. What you are seeing is not the myth of Sinian. The land rat is measuring the wrinkles of time with its scabbard. His 4 feet were splashed through the west. The water surface will unfold tiny ribs, and as he lowered his head to nibble on the dead leaf that had led the way, the tiger stripes on the back of the neck seemed to move like a living creature. Those red and black stripes, not a static pattern. Instead, it's a magma box that rises and falls with each breath. Every line seems to breathe in the spiritual energy of the mountains. Look into his eyes. The glint in his pupils was not the ferocity of a wild beast. Rather, it represents the peace and harmony of auspicious beasts. Legend has it that during the time of Yu the Great's flood control efforts, Lu Shu once stood on the reef, using the tomb as a climbing point, guiding the floating tea in the night. See the black tortoise swimming upstream. These creatures carrying celestial scriptures. Sketch of a bird of prey. Its tail, however, is in the form of a venomous snake. When they tapped the tortoise shell with their brains, it did not emit aquatic life. Instead, it's like an axe splitting the grain. Hunters pass down through generations. The swords are their faded, affordable ones. Polished powder, floating behind the ears. You can hear the hoofbeats from 1,000 miles away. Travel 300 li east from Naoyang Mountain. That is the bottom of Nanshan's economy. No vegetation grows here. However, it is full of underground rivers. The entire mountain resembles a bronze vessel immersed in water. The exposed fish was slapping its light blue tail. Bronze-colored armored forests covered with bullhead-shaped skulls as he slowly propped himself up. 2 bat-like fleshy pieces suddenly unfolded from the inside. This is not a fantasy. Fish-bodied and ox-handed as recorded in ancient books, it is now exposed to the morning light. This light pierced through the fog. The dream that emanated from the nasal cavity when turning against the old ox. "400 li to the east, the air pressure is undergoing a subtle change. The moment the granite mountain pierced the clouds, even the trails of birds begin to warm up. Welcome to Dai Garden Mountain, this vertical world that refuses to be climbed." "71 waterfalls have washed the mountainside until it shines. In the moss-covered rock crevices, the water snake is spitting out apricots, testing the vibrations of the air. 300 meters above their heads. The creature is using its barbed tongue to clean between its claws. Note the eerie blessing on his spine. Its streamlined body also possesses the flexibility of a female beast, with the explosive power of the male beast. The throat exhibits dual sexual characteristics during swallowing. Male scrotum. The female's mammary glands throbbed alternately under the fur. Ancient books record the character as, behind the 4 words, "It is every muscle." Everyone is enduring the truth of being torn apart by yin and yang. 300 li to the east. The earth began to exude the smell of sulfur. The red sandstone of Jishan is being soaked by the morning mist. The swarm of fireflies suddenly went out. This is the Boyi recorded in the classic of Mountains and Seas, beneath the seemingly blazing sun's silhouette. Hidden within it is a survival code that defies conventional wisdom. When the uterus is being eaten away by moss, 2 amber-colored eyeballs protruding from the center of the scapula. The movement of the entire mountain forest was reflected in the water. We continued deeper into the mountains and forests. In the intricate cluster of ancient tombs in Jishan, Changfu is surviving in a way that goes against the norm. The long ostrich looks very much like a chicken, but it has 3 heads, 6 eyes, 6 legs, and 3 wings. He will evolve life. It pushed to the extreme that makes people stand up. The mist over Jishan Mountain never dissipates. Bo Yi's 9-tailed fox was led into the deep ridge. Changfu's laughter sank into the night. This mountain will forever keep his secret. 300 li to the east, the fog suddenly dissipated. We have arrived at the Southern Mountain Classic, the most legendary Xingqiu mountain. Morning mist lingers around this red rock wall year-round. The mountain was cut into layers of shadows. Head south along the stream that developed at the foot of the mountain. At the 4th waterfall, calcified terraces formed by erosion. We discovered the first scorpion-shaped cluster near. The electric shock mark left by the crowned 9-tailed fox was 2 fingers deep. Sweep marks from tail tip dehydration, clearly variable on moist lichen. The 2-meter-long 9-tailed white fox shattered the frost flowers on the rocks. Amber pupils bestowed upon Buddha 2 lines of scripture. This is not the legendary seductive charm. Rather, it is the survival masterpiece of the apex predator. 9 fluffy long tails sway alternately. It can both disrupt the pursuer's line of sight. It can also serve as a heat preservation platform in the snow. 350 li to the northeast at this moment. When the moonlight spreads, crossing the basalt plateau riddled with meteorite craters, another sacred mountain is awakening. This is Chicken Tail Mountain. Fangxi River carries stardust fragments. It gleamed with a cold, white light under the moonlight. The mountain god of Nanyu Temple. It has never been a vague and unfounded legend. Rather, it is the oldest guardian of this mountain range. Their bodies were as agile as giant birds. The wings shimmered with a luster like black iron, dragon guards towering. The lightning, sharp as horns, pierced the sky. It seemed like the winds and clouds were blowing across the entire southern wilderness. They were all drawn by their breath, their appearance. It is an interweaving of nature and divinity. It is the embodiment of chaos and order. Each formation, all of these make the epic of heaven and earth. I have produced the oldest rhyme theory.